sparse at this end. The on end's good, but it was getting. This is this Westerwald, and to be fair, it's nearly a one cropper. And it's just getting very stalky. So we've decided to shave it off and see if we can get maybe a third cut just before we spray it off to either reseed it or put it in with wheat. We don't know yet, depending how much blackgrass comes. Here there's a lot on end. I don't know why really, because it's sort of similar, very similar land, but at the far end of the field it's very bit sparse really. I think it gets thicker as it gets onto better gravelly soil nearer the back. We are going to leave it so long before we bale it, probably tomorrow afternoon. We want quite a bit of sap. We don't want it haylage. We want quite a bit of sap in the silage. A little bit more appetising. Mowing, aren't they? What a beautiful machine. It's just shaving every little last blade of grass. Not the heaviest of crop, but to be fair, at this end it's the other end it's very sparse and it cuts it as good, because sometimes when it ain't a good like the weight of grass, a lot of our old mowers used to lay it down rather than cutting it. This bloody thing is just sort of shaving it off every little bit, look. But whether we'll get a third cut, that is well, weather permitting, I think. Yeah, we've got a kite again, having a look for his teeth. Got a bit of a dog leg at this end, which doesn't really matter, but I just have to sort of get it lined up before I press the auto steer. I'll get it lined up first and then press that, and it's away. She's steering herself now. For 100% accuracy, look. Look, this is Sweaverken GPS. You know, I ain't sponsored by them, but I'm helped by them. I'll tell you what, it's as accurate. I'll tell you what, it's as accurate as any. Look, it's to the millimetre at the moment. Oh, 2 millimetre out. 2 millimetre. Or 2 centimetres, sorry. Which in agriculture is nothing, is it? And like, what it's steering itself now. This is a steering wheel, so that's got a motor in the steering wheel, and then a screen. Oh, you can do all sorts with it, but I mean, I don't really know. So you'd be asking wrong person speaking me about it. Oh, really, we can do all sorts. It even turns itself around at end if you want. Yeah, when you get to end, a tiny bit of pressure on the steering wheel breaks the cycle of the GPS. So, or you can press the button on the screen, whichever you prefer. I think there's even a little remote control you can have. I don't know whether there was talk of only being given a remote control. I'm pleased with this mower. Yeah, Claas Disco 320. We've had all sorts of mowers in the past, and now rail styling, to be honest. I got a little bit of a shock when I did price it up, and then we decided we'd buy a good second-hand. Anyway, on then there was no good second-hand, so I rung our salesman at Claas and says, "What? Can you do any better on your price?" And he couldn't really. So we decided to bite the bullet and buy a new one. There's 3 buggers now, look. Two up in that tree, one in that tree, one in this tree, and one flying above me. What he's done is drawn a perimeter around the field, and then it works out which is the easiest way to cut it, which is obviously long ways in this field. What it's done now, it's left us the perfect 3.2 metres to finish off with. Oh, apart from at that end where I've got my bit of a wide dog leg bit. Bit overkill with this 650 on here, but we wanted to show you this. Very impressed with the new mower. Makes a hell of a job, it really does. I suppose it won't say what it cost, but anyway, just get over it, Richard. Right. Oh, I pulled some wild oats in this barley because we want a bit for seed, and Christ, it's a good crop. Bit of a different story next door in that spring barley, that ain't very good, on some heavy land. Had a bit of a balls up seed wise, I'll show you rather than explain it. But yeah, that winter barley's fantastic. Fodder beet, I don't know, Some of it's good, some of it ain't. Bit of rubbish in places, bit patchy in others. But yeah, cereal wise, it's not looking so good on winter corn anyway. It's not looking so bad on winter corn. What I do like about the mower is these metal blades, or tines, points, whatever you want to call them, on the conditioner. It really beats it to death and crimps it properly. I just think them plastic ones are no use to ornament, really. But yeah, very pleased. On about Sweaverken, we had the man other day. When I got my camera out and we filmed what we're on about, because they are offering, well, they are talking about putting a bit of GPS and auto shut off. At the moment I've got like a light bar thing, and it does work, it keeps you right, but you know, for round up in stubbles and one thing or another. But we're on about putting one of them in there, and it's rigged up through here, the auto shut off, so when I get to end, it sort of shuts the sections of the sprayer off. So, and I know I do say this in the video of the footage just filmed, that why you're spending some money on that, but everything, this type of stuff can be retrofitted to one tractor, and you sell that tractor and you just bounce it to other tractor. It's easy, it's very simple. We've got Steve here from GPS and Guidance Solutions. He's the guy who put the Sweaverken system on in our 650, and the one we transfer into the big tractor when we're using that. And just in conversation, I said to Steve, is there anything we could affordable to put on my sprayer? Because, well, for one, for steering it, and for two, for section control, because getting a lot of overlap and one thing or another on headlands. And yeah, he says there is something in there. Yeah, so they've upgraded the auto steer to now be compatible with a four-wheel steer machine. Right, yeah. So that's no problem for the sprayer at all. What did it used to do before? It used to run as like an articulated tractor, but it wasn't quite as accurate, and it was a little bit squirrely. All of its spots. It would do it, but it just felt squirrely. So what they've done now is they've actually come up with a new program, and it will actually run with a four-wheel steer machine. Yeah, and it is, yeah. I've seen it in the videos working. It is really stable. So. And the same system will do section control. So as soon as you get to end, it's like every section, as it starts to overlap, it'll stop. Yes. So they've brought a new system out. It's retrofit onto any sprayer system. You can have section control up to 7 sections just now, and they're going to do it for 9. So it fits on the back of the sprayer, and because it already knows where your boundary is, when you start to see come in from 24 metres, it'll begin to shut off. So basically, you go around, you do your headlands, yeah, and it's mapping it, and then I presume you press start, and then just go from. Yes, because it'll tell you you're probably straight. It knows how wide you are. Yeah, you've programmed your 24 metre. That's right. So when it comes up to the end of the field, it'll shut off the whole bank. If you have, say, a butt where you're coming in off a triangle, it'll start a butt. We call it a gearing. A gearing. So it'll begin to systematically shut off sections. And that'll obviously help eliminate burn on your headlands, and it'll obviously save you chemical and water. Oh, definitely. Especially if you have to pay for your. Because you don't realise how much you do overlap. Exactly. Especially when we're double residual in. So at back end, we burn the headlands terrible. Like. Exactly. So yes, we can retrofit this on, and obviously it's going to bring a 1996 right up to 2025's technology. I can see all you viewers sort of thinking, what the bloody hell's he spending a bit more money on his old sprayer? But I'm telling him there's nothing wrong with the sprayer. It's absolutely bomb-proof, and it puts chemical on the leaf. Perfect. So I'm gonna, and whatever we fit on here, it's retrofitted. So when we do upgrade, it can just be taken off, and put on a new machine. So, but yeah, Sweaverken, I tell you what, there's nothing wrong with the systems. It's brilliant. We've got no, and I've always said I aren't going to promote something what you know, what is rubbish, because works well for us, doesn't it?
It's and it's proven itself for what, 14 months now.
Yeah.
I think you've only phoned me once, and it's because you set the heading wrong when you reversed out.
Yeah, well, we're subsoiling one day, bloody thing. With big tractor, all it wanted to do was go around in circles. And it was something we'd press. It's so simple to use. I can use it, and I'm not technically minded at all. So.
And what I will say is, you phoned me with this lighter voice thinking, I'm going to catch you out here, something's wrong with it. And when I showed you how to do the heading, all I got from you was, yeah, it's working now.
Yeah, it's so simple. Yeah, and he is a fella what will help you, you know, like he'll answer the phone at any time of day.
7 days a week.
To keep you going, so.
Unless I'm on the job.
But yeah, but he's going to rig some up for this.
Yeah,
so.
we'll sort it out.
Yeah, Steve from GPS Solutions. I'll put his number there, and if you want a system like ours or information, you know, they are very good. So. Right, it's night. It's about 8:15. I'm ready for my tea. So from a rough hard farm in East Yorkshire. Bye for now.